Hello. Just getting the posts out again to let people know, hey, I am live. You know, that kind of stuff. So, meanwhile, I hope you all are having a good weekend. Yesterday was madness, but it was a good off schedule stream. Um, as other madness was unfolding, and as madness seems to be unfolding now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just getting these last things out, as always. So, let's see. I guess while we wait for me to get these last things out, something that I would like to bring up is, to my utter surprise, shock, whatever you want to call it, Lara Art is actually opening excuse me, waitlist. My apologies. And I have gotten in line again. Lara is my model creator for the 3D model. And I really, really like their work. I thought that they've really backed off a lot from doing this kind of work. And I really didn't think that I'd get a chance to get more work from them. Turns out we may get one last chance of work from them with whatever happens next. Who knows? Maybe we get lucky and more. Maybe eventually, finally, a different artist. But I am very, very big on artist loyalty, which is going to be something we're going to address in a second. Something going on. But I wanted to ask all of you, what do you, what would, if you could, if you were looking to see stuff when you come here, in terms of things to be added, even though I haven't finished properly putting together the stuff that's already here. Um, what would you want to see? What kind of things would you like to see me do and or have? Um, it can be a new model, it could be a new style, it could be different clothes, different morphs. Though we certainly have to do a lot of questioning there. Um, the idea of both one or the other, probably a new model or just an addition or modification of this model on the table. This model, obviously, I absolutely love. It's had an enormous amount of work put into it. But I wanted to put out, I've already set up a forum. You can message me, tweet at me, blue sky at me, whatever, um, to let me know what you think. What could be, what are things you're looking for? What do you want to see? What would interest you? What do you think would be new, exciting, interesting, fitting, whatever? Doesn't mean it will happen for sure, but knowing what people think would be neat and interesting certainly goes a long way in deciding what I want to do. I would like to do audience-driven stuff. Like, I mean, the fact that I keep doing more reactions, of which we've got another one tonight, is proof of that. Because the reactions do well. This is what people wish to see. So I thought I'd throw that out there, that the suggestion box is open. You are welcome to give your input. Again, I can't make any promises, but I am in line for Lart's next model commission line, which there is a queue, so there is probably a couple months to get everything together and ready. But yeah, this is gonna be a thing again. I did not expect it to be a thing, but I also can't complain about it being a thing. I love Lart's work. I love this model. I think it looks great. I would be excited to see more of this model. I would be excited to see Lart do something new and interesting and different. So, yeah, let us see what people think there. Tonight's plan is not the thank you for meeting the goal stream. I realized I need to do one of those though, so I will let you know once I figure it out. Because we do have a goal stream. We have 2 goal streams now. We have this one and Beam. Holy crap. And if we had the counter for lemons, we would be halfway to there, because it's 2,000 for that. Holy crap. I just suddenly went into must do things mode mentally as I realized. Oh, wait a minute. Anyways, or was I? So we got a reaction. Jonathan Ferguson talked about Atomfall, which is a game I am not familiar with, but I have been told to check out. I have been informed that Atomfall is up my alley and something that I would like and that would do well. So it is something that, this will be my first real look at Atomfall and whatever it is. And it's good old Jonathan Ferguson. We like Jonathan Ferguson. He's fun to listen to. Afterwards, we will have a normal Champion Sunday, holy crap, with Minish Cap and Chrono Trigger. Finally, we're finally back to Chrono Trigger after all this time. So that is the plan. Of course, we all know how the plan, trademark, tends to go. So we'll see if we'll see if things go to plan. But that's where we are right now. So I am going to work on getting the Jonathan Ferguson video up. And while I do, for those of you who do not know what's been going on for the past 24 hours or so, and have been smart enough to avoid Twitter, I think it is worth giving my half cent that so it would appear as though Cinder has kind of destroyed her own career. I'm not going to go through and litigate everything and go through all the docs. The summary is sabotaging her fellow VTubers' careers. trying to monopolize an editor and an artist without their permission, trying to pressure them into only working for her, and even going so far as trying to get them to cancel commissions already in the pipe. Trying to blame other VTubers for her decisions, currently trying to blame her manager and ex-boyfriend for her decisions, which it's real interesting that that happened after people had already come forward with the receipts showing she was an active participant in what was going on. You know? So it's like, and then she was flat out told when this started publicly, when you say what you have to say, when you tell your side, you have to bring receipts. Tectone actually said that publicly at the very beginning, as everyone else was coming out with their stuff on what she'd been doing. He said that right up front to her, publicly, like I said, to bring the receipts for her side of the story. She did not bring any screenshots, any receipts. She basically just came out with a simple Google Doc, a little speech that functionally comes down to, "I'm sorry you caught me." I'm sorry you caught me. It's not my fault. It's my manager boyfriend who's I've fired. Again, after screenshots showing her actively participating in all this going on have come out. It has been a month for VTubers. So that's the super short, didn't go over, not gonna read through. I'm not gonna repeat a certain experience, is how many different pages of the collective docs are out. But when Bao and Silvervale and so many of these others are the ones coming out with the proof of what's going on, whew. Let me move my mic. You're not on the right side of what's going on here. And this is a shame. I wasn't a Pyropup. I don't think I was ever subscribed, but she was commonly in my recommendeds, and it's alright, I'm gonna watch this clip or whatever. But, you know, for someone who certainly did their best to present as wholesome, she really has turned out to not be. And it's like, come on. One way or another, just continuously losing VTubers who've... I mean, she's not the biggest, but she's one of the biggest indie VTubers out there. Or she was. Before her non-apology came out, I was pretty sure that she would still have some following that would be like, well, we don't care, we're Cinder followers for life, we, you know, it's, we'll take her side over anyone else's type people's. After her non-apology, "I'm sorry I got caught," here have my co-conspirator as a sacrifice type post. I'm not convinced that she's gonna come back from this. I This is reminding me of a few other VTubers, and I'm not gonna start bringing up names because that could turn into a whole other thing. But this genuinely is feeling like certain other situations where that was actually it. Which this is going to be interesting because, among other things, she is a part owner in GamerSupps, which is like, that is sort of the gaming VTuber sponsor right now. They're everywhere. So the fact that she is a part owner in that, I'm pretty sure it's GamerSupps. I should actually triple check that. Yeah, it is. That's like, that is a huge problem. I don't know what's gonna happen to that. It's like, that is a big connection. I didn't even think about that until now when I started talking. Holy crap. For her to be a partial owner of that, and now this to come out. Holy crap. Yeah, it is GamerSupps. She's a partial owner of GamerSupps, which means that's an issue because they do like the VTuber waifu cups that are really popular and all those custom flavors for people. And now this, because GamerSupps is the one that, like, all the VTubers want to have a flavor and be sponsored by because they're the ones that actually pay attention to us. Mm-hmm. Oof. I don't know what's going to happen to that. That could, that's going to affect some things. I don't know what to think of how they're going to handle that. Like Russian Badger, yeah, holy crap. Yeah, because he's involved with them. This is gonna be a thing. Ooh. Things just got really crazy in my own perspective. Like, things have been bad for the past 24 hours. Things are getting much, much worse suddenly. So that is my half cent. I mean, I'm not a news VTuber. I'm not. I don't know if I count as a drama tuber or not. That's kind of what other people have to decide for me. But I thought it was worth bringing up and pointing out. I do think that people should know whenever this stuff happens, because these are big content creators and a lot of people are fans and affected by this. That if you're not on Twitter, which a lot of people have fled Twitter for Blue Sky and other places, you might not be aware of this happening immediately. You should be a news tuber. You're good at it. I will certainly think about doing like a little what's going on. My big weakness is I generally only stream twice a week. If I can do more, I certainly try. but being limited to 2 streams a week means that I'm almost universally behind the curve. Like, now, there can be an advantage to being behind the curve. Many people will show up and be like, get it out as fast as immediately possible in order to be able to in order to try to be first out the gate, and then they don't necessarily get things wrong. Meanwhile, you know, I'm not going into super detail, but I'm here after a slew of people have come out with evidence instead of streaming, here's the first thing, then streaming, here's the next thing, then streaming, here's the next thing. So I guess there is an advantage to that. I will certainly think about the idea of adding a news section to the beginning. That's all that I have to say on that. Again, I felt it's like, it's too big to ignore, even as distant as a tiny little tuber like me is. And it's something certainly that people, you know, for those who do not spend their time on Twitter, first of all, good for you. Keep staying away from Twitter. Should know of what's happening, because again, in some of the other incidents that I'm thinking about, there were definitely people who were not aware of what was going on, who tried to rally to the defense of some people that really, really shouldn't have been defended. So that is the bad news done, out of the way. We have now Mr. Jonathan Ferguson. I'm so happy to finally have been smart enough to put together my little keypad. There's more stuff to add, but I at least have this. Doing videos for EXP, I've seen some recommendations of him from a whole bunch of different places. So clearly people are starting to figure out, hey, people like this guy. So, like I said, I have been recommended Adamfall and been told that I would really, really like it. I personally know nothing else about it besides that. And so I'm going to just watch this here with you guys. We're going to see what Mr. Jonathan Ferguson, the keeper of firearms and technology at the Royal Armories, has to say about Adamfall's firearms. Oh, and artillery, not technology. Darn it. Firearms and artillery at the Royal Armories. Excuse me. Yes.
This is Jonathan Ferguson, the keeper of firearms. This is Jonathan Ferguson, the keeper of firearms and artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And I'm your host, Dave Jewett, and today we're off for a trip up to the beautiful north of England as we take a look at the weapons of Atomfall.
Oh! So the reload on the Sten is smash the mag button with the fresh mag and hope somehow that comes out and then you shove in the fresh one. I don't think that would work, and the last thing you want to be doing to a Sten is damaging the magazine. The risk is you pop off the floor plate and your rounds end up everywhere.
For those unfamiliar, Stens are made out of bicycle parts. No, I'm not exaggerating. That doesn't make them very well suited to too much abuse beyond what the gun is specifically designed to do.
If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's video. You can catch the main episodes right here on YouTube, but if you head over to our Patreon, you can find longer, more detailed, extended editions of these videos. Atom Falls Director's Cut is over an hour long, so if you want an even deeper dive into this game's arsenal, head over to our Patreon. You'll also be able to get access to all of our previous extended episodes, as well as early access to next week's episode, where we revisit hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades to take a look at a very
That was a revolver that has a magazine and a triangular bullet.
next week's episode, where we
Or not bullet, cartridge. Holy crap. I can't believe people know that this thing exists. Yeah, see, they stack up in these triangular cartridges with the bullet inside with the powder. They go around in this wedge type cylinder-ish thing, but stack all the way down. Yeah, the Trowns. Hello, kitty. I can't believe anyone knows this thing. Okay, I guess I can now that I think about it. Thanks to people like Jonathan Ferguson, the Keeper of Firearms and Artillery at the Royal Armories. Interest in firearms from people outside the nerd core of firearms has vastly skyrocketed, especially about more unique things. So I guess I do find it more believable that someone understands that Arctic exists.
revisit hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades
And did something
to
about
take a
it.
look at a very special gun.
Oh, God.
But whether you support us on Patreon or watch right here on YouTube, we appreciate all of your support. And now I will throw it over to Jonathan.
The interference field is bringing down aircraft like clay pigeon.
Let me be clear. Our experts are monitoring the situation, and I would urge everyone...
Windscale, the pride of Britain, nestled in the picturesque Lake District, the state of the...
Windscale's the one that had a nuclear meltdown, right? Like, in real life. Yeah? Okay, I thought so. To those unfamiliar, Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island are not the only nuclear accidents that have happened. Here's one of them.
The art atom plant of Britain, nestled in the picturesque Lake District, the state-of-the-art atom plant has transformed this rugged landscape into the envy of its northern neighbors.
A very interesting concept for maybe the most British video game that's ever existed. A real nuclear accident.
Oh, here we
before my
go.
time, nearly before my parents' time, actually, 1957.
The situation is more complex than was at first understood.
No military expeditions into the area have been lost.
Really happened. It's a real place as well. But I think I'm going to see some wackiness, but maybe the weapons will be faithful to the time period. That would be nice.
That is a very rusty rifle.
Oh, we're not starting out strong with this thing. This is very familiar. Single shot 2.2, bolt action. Is that a BSA?
Yeah, I was trying to do some research on this one, and that's where I landed. A BSA model. In game, it's called the Terrier, probably because of the less than aggressive bark of the weapon being 2.2.
I say we're not off to a good start. I think we are, actually. So, you know, in universe, you're going to have to work to find some more interesting firearms. So something that is commonly available, kind of utilitarian for shooting rats or rabbits or whatever, does make some sense. There seems to be a lot of recoil coming off this thing. It shouldn't really move much at all.
Yeah, 22 long rifle, which is that big one, out of a pistol doesn't recoil at all. I have a 22 revolver. Now it's a big 22 revolver. It's a K-frame. It doesn't move when I pull the trigger. Well, okay, it moves slightly, but that's from the movement of my hand. The recoil of the round does absolutely nothing to recoil the weapon. And so a rifle is not going to have any discernible recoil when you fire a 22 long rifle out of it. Unless it's like unless the rifle is made out of like balsa wood and paper mache, in which case you've got other issues.
It's my initial whinge, I suppose. Apart from being rusty, but I'm guessing weapons can be in different states in this.
Yeah, they come in 3 different flavors: rusty, stock, and pristine.
But yeah, it's suitable for the location. We do have some of these somewhere. There are some differences in detail, notably with the cocking piece, but I think they've based this on a BSA Model 2 or similar. Definitely has the right stock profile, the right general appearance, and the action is very close, but the cocking piece is different. So maybe there's a model I'm missing. In any case, we don't have one in this facility for me to wave about. But I think it's a really cool place. I'm guessing this is a starting weapon, essentially.
Yeah, this is one of the earliest weapons you get in the game.
Yeah, I definitely approve.
When I was researching the weapon, because it's called the Terrier, the Tutu Terrier in the game. So I looked up BSA, added the word Terrier, and found that they made a motorcycle engine called the Terrier. So nice little connection to the rest of the BSA company.
Interesting.
Huh.
Which to me only reinforced that
That's
it was a
kinda neat.
BSA because there's a nod to the wider company.
That's probably true. Yes. This is looking much nicer. I like the wood grain on the undamaged version. I mean, I wouldn't even call this a weapon. This is a sporting rifle. Varmints or target shooting. Things that you might find in the UK in the 50s. Suffice to say, there were quite a few more firearms floating around per head of population than now.
Yeah, Up To has things to say about British motorcycles. I would say, though, that in a survival game, I can't really speak to England, though I would hope it would be very similar to in the United States. 22 is the perfect thing to throw in there. The 22 long rifle is going to be the quintessential survival round, period. There is no better round to have as a survival. It's one of those things where if you have a choice, unless you're in a specific situation that is going to require something else, 22 long rifle is what you're going to take before anything else at all. It is incredibly common. So it's everywhere. It's easy to buy large amounts of. It's easy to find places. Again, at least in the United States, I would assume anywhere that firearms are legal. It's really easy to shoot. It is still a bullet, so it can go. So, I mean, yeah, shot placement becomes a thing, but it still is a bullet going into things. And certainly out of a long rifle, it's going to have a lot more punch than the pistols we saw tested. And you can carry a ridiculous amount of it in a very small form factor. Hi, Crystal. I have a little box that's like 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. That is a 500 round box. Doing well. Doing well. Hope you are doing well as well. I think I saw you were streaming, but I was sadly quite busy at the time. How'd things go? You enjoy your streaming? The Clash has things to say about British motorcycles. Everyone apparently has things to say about British motorcycles. You excited about the, Crystal, you excited about the, looks like we're finally getting some collab stuff going? Anyways. Ooh, Box, I'm doing well, and it went well, and ooh, motorcycles. And also I'm excited. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to pop in more. Anyways, I got extremely distracted. We have a lot of reaction to get through. Song, this is England Line appears. I got my motorcycle jacker, but I'm... Okay. $1911, obviously.
Right, Colt 1911. I didn't see any British markings, but I don't know if I would, to be honest. I don't know if you spotted any, like RAF, for example. There was an RAF purchase of 1911s at
That
one point.
hurts my soul.
Yeah, that's the rabbit hole I went down, because obviously most of the weapons are very British in this game. So I looked up British 1911s and came across the RAF ones. In the pristine version, it says Wesleyan Shaw, Northumbria on the side of the weapon.
Yeah.
But as we'll see,
Wesleyan Shaw.
Wesleyan Shaw.
So,
As opposed to Smith and Wesson, who I think does make a 1911 clone, actually, now that I think about it.
Wesleyan Shaw is clearly a nod to Webley and Scott. Instead of
What do I know?
Birmingham, it's Northumbria.
But as we'll see when we get to the pristine version, there's that arrowhead mark that you referenced in the Indiana Jones episode, which you said
Yes.
pointed to it being British military surplus. So maybe that's something we can get into as we see the weapon become less and less crusty.
Well, the surplus mark, if you like, is two of those arrows facing each other.
So it's just the one in this instance.
Just the one says Board of Ordnance or War Office, depending on the era, ownership, essentially. So it's been procured by the War Office for service. Limited British service. The commandos in the Second World War purchased some in 45 and in 38 Super. Before that, the Royal Flying Corps had, made a sizable, relatively proportionate to how big they were, purchase. And those, by the time they arrived, the Royal Flying Corps was the RAF, so they were all marked RAF, and they'd be around. So, and to be quite honest, there'll be a number of American 1911s imported as well later. I'm not a fan of the Wick flick in 1957 UK. I'm sorry, not a fan of that.
I have heard, I don't know if it's true, but I have heard that Keanu Reeves is actually the inventor, or at least the primary progenitor of the Wick flick. That while tactical reloads have been around forever, he is supposedly the one that really made that specific style of it for handgun magazines a thing. I have heard that. I don't know that, though. I would have to look into that. What is my finger doing?
Especially when it's the rusty version, I imagine all that crust would cause some friction, and the magazine is very smoothly flicked out of the weapon.
Which, on a period Colt 1911, is easier said than done. You can get a good drop free going on.
Yeah, mine just drops out.
But, yeah, the magazine release isn't long enough. There's too much friction. I don't think you're doing that with a period 1911, and no one would even think to do it. So people would look at you like you were crazy. Even dropping magazines on the floor is probably, certainly wouldn't be trained. You'd probably do it in this sort of emergency, but... Right, nice view there. There's an attempt at a broad arrow on the back of the slide, which is, I think, from memory, where some of them do show up on the RAF marked pistols. In fact, let's go get one. Okay, so two British military 1911s to show you here. Earliest, and the one you came across, Dave, when you went looking. This is in the Webley 455 Auto cartridge, so that's probably what they're alluding to with this thing. So
I'm going to be honest. I did not know that 1911s came in that. Thank you for the lemon, Blue Kitty. I honestly did not know that those came in the Webley cartridge. That is a surprise to me. I know they came in a lot of oddball cartridges besides just 45, 38 Super, and 9. But the Webley is actually a surprise to me.
Different, well, functionally, completely different.
And yes, 1911s do come in 9. Shut up.
It's marked Colt Automatic caliber 455 on the slide. Really nice condition. The broad arrow does not look like that. And on these, it is, hopefully I can show you. If not, maybe we can show an image. I think you can see it there on the trigger guard, just above.
Ever so
Tiny
slightly.
little broad arrow mark above crossed pennants, which is the British military proof mark, or crossed flags, actually, is the official description of those. I always said pennants, but they're flags. And so you can see from the design, this is the First World War pattern, not the A1. So we've got the long trigger, no scallops here, and a flat mainspring back strap here. So it's not an A1. There's also the RAF marked version of that, which just has the RAF stamp. Otherwise, is the same. And then Second World War, so equally as plausible for this, is one of those purchased mainly for the commandos. And that's an A1. Now, the pistol in front of me on the screen is not an A1, it's a mixture. So it has the scallops here to help you reach the trigger of the A1, but it has the trigger of the non-A1, has the back strap of the pre-A1. So it's a little bit of an anomaly there. Ah, militant Morris dancers.
The thing we all
I don't know
fear.
how the...
Why are the gangs always
I
so
don't know how the
weird?
Morris dancing community is going to respond to being a faction of psychos in a video game.
It's either Morris dancing attire or cricket pads. That's the usual.
I'm not wearing cricket pads.
Oh, Brent!
The Bren gun. It's me Bren gun. I have one here. Based on the lack of dovetail and the cocking handle, that is a Mark II, as I've picked up here. A lot of these made in English and Canada, like this one. So there's the main difference. Flip up conventional sights rather than the great big drum adjustment on the left-hand side. Deleted the dovetail for the non-existent optical sight. Well, the sight existed, but it was never put on the Bren. The locking out the handle on the barrel to use it as a grip. So we rotate it into position, pull it out, rotate, and it locks. This was done. It was intended for the anti-aircraft role on a mount, like a pole mount. But yeah, hip firing with the Bren, and indeed firing from the shoulder with the Bren, if you were suitably hench, was done. Certainly in the jungles during the Second World War and afterwards. This is 1957. This is when the new generation of small arms are coming in, but it's before any serious quantities of converted 7.62 Brens would be around. So if you're looking at this going, oh, it's Cold War, why is it not the 7.62 NATO Bren with the straight magazine and the muzzle device? Perfectly plausible that they would still be, in fact, much more plausible that they would still be 303. And it's a nice looking one. I like the way it's been done. Nice markings there, correct. In the correct format, Bren Mark II. Think you can just about see that on this one.
Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Before we continue, I want to say something based on what he mentioned with the 303 and the fact that they haven't updated to more modern stuff. England did not phase out the Vickers Maxim gun until like the early 2000s. And it was still firing 303. Because they were still using guns manufactured in the First World War. Now, on one hand, that tells you how durable that machine gun is. For those who don't know what the Vickers Maxim is, it is the one with the big water-cooled jacket on top of it. You know, the stereotypical World War I, old-style, belt-fed machine gun. That is what I'm talking about. The British military forces were still using those into at least the late 90s. I'm 99% sure early 2000s.
The Bren, and indeed firing from the shoulder with the Bren, if you 7.62 Brens with 6.2 NATO Bren with the straight magazine. Nice markings there, correct. in the correct format. Bren Mark II. Think you can just about see that on this one. Reload's good. Now, you would, of course, 90% of the time be using this off the bipod as a light machine gun, in which case you always palm off the magazine, and either you or the assistant, Bren number 2, will then rock in a fresh magazine. Yeah, trying to do a left-hand reload. I say I like the reload. I do in mechanical terms. You're not going to be doing it with your support hand. The gun is too heavy. You're going to have to put the weapon down, or crouch down at least, and then you would, by training, use your right hand to reload. Don't use your left. Nothing's stopping you other than strength. So if you've been eating your spam fritters, then maybe. Long-standing video game trope that machine guns are wielded, as we've often said, like very heavy assault rifles. But you know, the Bren is a beast.
If you're enjoying the episode so far, I reckon you'd really love our hour-long extended edition. You can find that by clicking the link to our Patreon found in the description below. And by becoming a patron, you not only help support the work we do here, but you'll also be able to watch all of our previous extended episodes, and you'll get each and every future episode 1 week early. And since we have a new expert lending their wealth of knowledge to the channel, there's never been a better time to join. Each patron directly supports the work we're doing here at EXP, but whether you join our Patreon or follow along on YouTube, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking the video, all of that good stuff. But now we'll get back to the video.
Ooh. You have my attention.
Oh no! Why have you shown me the rusty EM2 first? Boo!
I
Makes
thought
me
it'd
sad.
be, you know, get the bad news out of the way first, and
I guess.
you see a nicer version very soon.
Now, pause there, because we have got right-hand operation here, which is not only correct per the manuals and the period mindset, but really the only way to do it with the AM2. Ask me how I know. I'll tell you. How I know is...
I'm glad he's as
when I first
excited
picked
as I
one
am.
of these up, and I think it was this very example, because it's our best condition of the original automatic rifle EM2, 7mm. The EM2 people think of, rather than all the many variants that came after it. When I first picked it up, I turned it over like an AK, grabbed the cocking handle, pulled back. Oh, that's a lot of resistance. And it finally gives way, and it cracks your hand into this carrying handle with immense force. And it really hurts. Really hurts. And I did it more than once, by the way, because I didn't learn my lesson.
In game, it's called the JM2, which I have decided. The J stands for Jonathan. I have no source for that, but that's the decision that I'm making. Sorry, Rebellion.
For the avoidance of doubt, this is a different team than the Sniper Elite team, who I have worked with, or we do work with, and they didn't ask me about this. Sad face. But they clearly had some good reference material, because this is looking very good. I'll reserve judgment for the pristine version. But I would love it if that was a reference to me. Now, this is very interesting. I said they had good reference for this. The reference was this gun. Because that scallop that they've modelled in the cheek piece there, that is damage. That's not there on the other examples. That is where it has been chipped away.
Wow.
In extensive trials.
That's
and
pretty
things,
cool.
And has probably been dressed a bit to stop it splintering anymore, and it's left this ovoid scallop of wood missing, and
That's pretty
been
cool.
modelled as though it's a deliberate feature. But overall, it's looking pretty good. They've had access to pictures of our gun. Probably a good opportunity for a bit of self-promotion, well, institutional promotion. Developers watching this, we are here to provide this sort of service, but in more depth, for any video games containing firearms. You know, we have a great collection here, as you can see, from what we do with these guys, and over on our own channel. So we are here, we're happy to help. We enjoy doing that.
Clearly.
So please do.
He
come
wouldn't
to
be
us
doing
you
all
think
these
we
if they
can
didn't.
help with reference material, photos, video, advice, inspiration for weapons to include, all of that kind of thing. Now, the reticle on this thing, I won't be able to show you, but if you look at the manual for this, there's a scan of it on the Forgotten Weapons website. The reticle's not right. So they have the inverted post, yep, that's correct, and it has bars coming in from the side. This doesn't have that. What it has is, it has 4 range stadia, tiny ones below the tip of that pointer, so that you know to hold over slightly more, pushing it out to 900 yards. 900 yards with 280/7mm. More like harassing fire, but this thing is not super accurate. Despite a 24-inch barrel, it's equivalent to 4 minutes of angle accuracy, so no better than a number 4 Enfield.
It's
Got
that
a
giant
great view of this thing. We can see they've modeled it closely.
Yeah, the issue is that this big distance is going to give you accuracy issues. I'm excited about this gun just because it's a very unique and fascinating design. I have little to say about whether it's actually good or not, but any firearm that has this really high height over barrel is designed for much closer ranges than you'd think, because that, no matter how much you calibrate your sight picture, is going to cause issues the farther out you get. This is primarily for comfort and ease of shooting at closer ranges without having to hunker your face down against the stock of the weapon.
See on this example, in fact, that breech cover there is a lighter greyish colour as it is on this example. Not sure it would have been when it was new. I think that would have been a little darker. The good thing about modelling one example, which seems to be what they've done here, is that you don't introduce mistakes, because this thing changed so much over its development that a lot of the EM2s out there, not that there are many, that are virtual, have features of different variants range. Great to see the EM2. Would be a shame to have a 1950s set British game and not have the EM2 in it.
Is that a high power?
That's a very rusty Browning high power, specifically, presumably, the L9A1. First high powers entered British service in 44 with the Paras, made in Canada. Slightly different configuration to this, and it is, I don't think it's 1962
I want one.
until the L9A1.
This is on my want
introduced
list.
into service. The number 2 pistol is already in service, but they don't fully replace all those Webleys till a bit later. Period L9s. This is actually a trials example of the L9. So the earlier ones had the spur hammer. That was just a change to the build standard later on. It's not an A2 or anything when it goes to the spur. Stays L9A1 all the way from when it's introduced to 2013 when they take them out of service. This is far nicer, by the way, finish-wise. This is like a commercial finish on the Trials gun, and this is the later style with the spur hammer, and it's the classic Suncorite black paint, which is on just about everything from the 50s on. Well, end of the second half of the Second World War onwards, really. This is also a sectioned one, which is always nice. You can see how it works.
Those are always
There's
cool.
markings on the high power. It says
Yeah.
Barker Precision Company, St. Louis, but made in Oxford, England.
That's strange. Yeah, I mean, I get the... well, for one thing, the UK high powers were all made at FN. They all have Belgian markings. Sorry, the ones that weren't Canadian were all made in FN Herstal in Liège in Belgium. That's understandable for the context of the game. What's more of a head scratcher is setting the sort of
All of our guns were made in Belgium, except for the ones that were made in Canada.
parent company in the United States. Maybe that's a reference to John Browning, who started the design of this, finished by Dieudonné Saive. Please forgive my pronunciation. So a bit of a co-production between those two men. Browning struggling to finish the design on account of having died. But he was working for FN, so none of this matters, but not kind of following the history there, put it that way.
There's the Wick
Just a
flick.
very minor point that I've noticed. This is the problem with making games that are so high fidelity in various ways. You introduce details that people like me can then say, that's not the right detail.
Well, we all knew it was going to be in here.
A depressingly rusty Lee Enfield number 4. So at this point, could well be the Mark 1. Or it might be the number one.
I had a chance to
Mark
get one of
1
these, and I didn't have any
/2
money, and I'm
or
mad.
/3. Very
Should've just
minor
borrowed.
differences between the two. The main change is where they move to hanging the trigger from a different place. Nothing that the soldier would ever have noticed, and it doesn't change the function or the external appearance at all, other than the markings. So the one I've chosen by sheer luck here is dated 1956, FTR, factory thorough repair. So it would have been made earlier than that, but it's been redated as essentially a new to you, a refurbished rifle in 1956, the year before this is set. So this is very plausibly from the game, which is quite fun.
For your context as well, this is just called the Lee number 4 in-game.
That's bizarre, because I'm not aware of any trademarks on Enfield pertaining to firearms. The Enfield factory closed in 1988 and was a government institution anyway. So I say that someone probably has trademarked it for firearms.
Well, I forgot to mention with the Bren in-game, that's just called the Enfield LMG.
Okay, so that's not the reason. That's bizarre. Now the action on this is a Lee action, 100%. Well, not 100%, I guess, but there were improvements or changes made. But the basic action is the Lee action, so calling it the Lee rifle.
Random fun fact that he's probably not going to mention. The Lee Enfield is not designed to be fired with your index finger. It's designed to be fired with your middle finger. While you keep the bolt, see the little knob on the bolt, held between your thumb and forefinger. That way you can cycle the weapon that much faster. It also has a shorter than average rotation of the bolt for a similar reason. Basically, rather than, well, before they really had a means of mass producing a semi-automatic type firearm, even though semi-autos existed at the time of this designing, at least in concept, they were like, we can't give this to our people. It is not feasible to manufacture these things. They instead chose to design their bolt-action rifle to be as fast as possible. So it is one of the few bolt-action rifles designed. Well, it's one of the few weapons, period, designed to be fired by something other than your index finger. In this case, like I said, your middle finger. Just random fun fact about the Lee Enfield. Mondragon was a disaster? Yes, it was.
Were improvements or changes made, but the basic action is the Lee action, so calling it the Lee rifle. Anyway, a little bit weird to not call it an Enfield. It's famously the Enfield rifle. Gun itself, rifle itself, looks good. We're using the battle sight, so this bit here, not the flip up micrometer adjustable long range sight, but you can see it folded down there. Oh, I like the boot. Putting the boot in. Now, nobody in 1950s Britain, and probably not anywhere else, is going to be doing it like this.
Is he going to say it?
That's a later technique for snipers, primarily, where it's just
He's gonna
very
say it.
positive, and you're not in a rush because you're a sniper. The way it was always done.
He's gonna say it.
Handle knobs are shaped this way. Is finger and thumb, and I'm not very fast at it, but they were able to do it in one single motion, backing up, forward and down, like that. And that's facilitated by the steel ball rotating in your grasp. This palming the bolt thing is another anachronism, unfortunately. Okay.
Okay,
that's
he didn't say
interesting.
the trigger
I'm
part.
sure I saw the correct use of the handle there, as well as the palm. Are there maybe in the aim he's doing the? No, it looks like just when it's empty. So we're getting it correct when it's empty. No, that's interesting. So in the aim, so I was wrong, but also right. In the shoulder, he's doing it correctly. From the hip, he's doing it like this, and I think that actually might make sense. You know. In terms of the ergonomics, that's food for thought there. There's loads of detail in this. All the little dings in the wood look really nice as well. You have a realistic variety of wear and tear, which is great to see. Although it looks like we have the hollowed out bolt handle of the number 5 rifle. Bolt handle on the number 4 is solid. That was something that was done for weight reduction. That's the sort of thing that could happen if you, as we would do for research, whatever, you Google reference images, look at Google Images, the search algorithm has thrown up something that is actually not the number 4 that you're looking for, and you go,
Is
oh,
he
yeah,
shooting
that's
at
what the
muzzle
bolt handle
flashes?
looks like. Let's put that in the game. Very easy to fall for that. One of the reasons why you might want to come here and look at the real thing.
Let's just calm down.
He didn't mention the trigger. I'm a little sad about that, but I'm so glad he mentioned the cycle.
The Webley. Now, of course, we've got to have a Webley in the game. Of course, this is almost certainly a surplus, civilian-held example, unless you get it from soldiers.
Soldiers and outlaws and ne'er-do-wells as
Okay.
well. It's pretty common throughout the game.
And there is a late Mark 6 that I've just grabbed on the basis that if you're going to find one,
I like when
and
games
it's
let you do
one
that with
from,
revolvers.
like reserve military service, it would be late. So this one's made at Enfield, 1925. So they were making these things, I think, until 26 at least, overlapping with the early number 2 revolvers. Loads of detail there, really closely modelled on the real thing.
If you were to do a partial reload of the cylinder, I'm guessing all the rounds would pop out, not just the
No.
unfired ones.
Nope, only the fired ones will pop out.
So that is accurate in the game then.
Yes.
Interesting.
Based primarily on the weight of the rounds, the extractor kind of overrides them. What isn't modelled, and this is from memory, having not done this for a while, but the extractor starts to pop up the rounds and then slips past them because they're too massive for it. But very useful feature, needless to say. Flicking the barrel assembly shut is not recommended, but does work. You are going to wear your revolver out doing that, but hey, that's hardly a concern in a life or death situation. I like the fact that you can see right through the empty chambers. I think this might be the best representation of the Webley that we've seen.
What do we have here?
Another rusty gun.
Oh,
Rifle 7.62 millimeters L1A1, and it's seen better days. I do like the fact that they have, as well as making the metal plausibly rusty, these look like something from one of those dodgy restoration YouTube channels. They have also made the wood look really sad as well, really dried out and sort of grubby. Clearly some good reference
in the
material.
50s,
That's
would any of
looking
these be
good.
old
Oh,
enough
no,
to
that was
be
cool.
to look like that?
On the reload there, what it looks like happened. So this is rifle 7.62mm L1A1 serial number 1. Isn't that nice?
Oh, he's just showing off now.
Very nice. And we know that, well, 2 reasons. One is it has this plaque on the butt. And the other is that it has a serial number of U for United Kingdom, E for Enfield, 57 for the year, same year this game is set, and Alpha 1, serial number 1.
Whether the weather sucks
you.
in England, whether the weather sucks.
Yes.
Maybe okay. That's
Go. What I think has happened there is that and this isn't the best way to reload it, but it seems to be what they're going for, is that they're pushing forward with the trigger finger on the mag catch, which actually is very hard to do. Very hard to do. But what I think they're doing is they're pressing forward on the mag catch so it hangs off the front lug and then knocking it out. Whereas the L1A1, by the time the actual service rifle comes in, and it's probably because of the way this one's designed, you've got charging handle left side, you've got magazine catch enlarged for easy operation left side, you've even got the magazine well asymmetric for a nice easy access on the left side. So this is a right-hander's rifle. The selector, of course, the change lever is also left side. Even the disassembly lever is as well. And a creative reload, and maybe that would make sense on a metric pattern FAL, where there's just a little nubbin of a magazine catch that's just as accessible really from either side, and you push that forward with your index finger. Maybe that's what they're going for. On the British SLR, nope. That's not how you do it. They have also copied the conventional FAL lower receiver or trigger group and put an automatic mark on there. Now, there were some SLRs with the A on the lower, but not in the serial number range depicted here, I don't think. So it should just be S and R. Famously, this was a self-loading only rifle. The switch is correct though. Nice touch is that they've got the circular depression that's worn or pressed into the surface of the wooden grip by the operation of the selector there, which does rotate.
Oh yeah,
further
look at all
when the
that.
weapon's open for cleaning, by the way. That's why that's on there. It looks like
All
it goes
scraped
to
in.
auto, but when the rifle is closed, it doesn't. But nitpicks aside, this is still going to be the best representation of an L1A1 that I've seen. Does this thing feel like it hits hard?
Yeah, that's what it's my favorite weapon in the game, because it does feel like it packs more of a punch. And you know, when it comes to fighting armored things or big robots, that's when the L1A1 was really helpful as well, because it felt like you're actually punching through the metal. But yeah, the L1A1 definitely felt like it packed the most punch while also allowing you to have that semi-automatic fire, which in a game like this, super helpful, because you're often being rushed by mutants or Morris dancers wearing cricket pads.
I'm shooting.
And the Sten.
Your vigilance can save lives.
It's Stenning time. Now, they haven't put the Mark V Sten in, which is I think a bit of a shame. There were plenty of Mark II still around in 57. In fact, this one has been refurbished with that black paint finish. Oh! So the reload on the Sten is smash the mag button with the fresh mag and hope somehow that comes out, and then you shove in the fresh one. I don't think that would work, and the last thing you want to be doing to a Sten is damaging the magazines, because they are the weak point, or rather, they plus this movable magazine housing on the Mark II and Mark V are the weak point. That and variable quality control due to having to produce an absolute ton of them.
Made of bike
Yeah, when I
parts.
saw that reload, my first
in
thought
bike
was,
shops.
"Ooh, Jonathan's going to have thoughts about that."
Yeah, I mean, of all the bits to damage, that's better than anything above it. But the risk is you pop off the floor plate and your rounds end up everywhere. But otherwise, looks good. Speaking of blowback submachine guns, I guess this is why the Mark V Sten isn't in the game, because we have the Sterling. Now, the aperture, first thing I notice is the sight aperture being absolutely enormous. It's only that small,
Yeah,
or that small.
and that's why I don't
Never
like
happening.
apertures.
That's hilariously
Not
large.
not for stuff
By the
like
way,
this.
Just casually mention that this one belonged to Winston Churchill.
Oh, now you really are showing off. Good grief.
Very, very small. You might not be able to read it, but trust me, this is dedicated to Winston Churchill and appeared on his firearms certificate in 1964 when it was when all of his firearms were handed in. This is the only one of his that we have. In fact, this one is in fact a Patchett machine carbine. marked as such. These things were in use at the end of the Second World War, 1944. There's a report saying that they performed really well, and there are several photos now that people have found of them actually in use. So the Mark II Sten, the Mark V Sten, the Patchet, and the M1 carbine, all in use by paratroopers. They're all in use by various troops, but the Mark V Sten, M1 carbine, and the Patchet were used by British paratroopers. Looking pretty good. The only big issue here is the magazine. The magazine on the Sterling is 34 rounds, which is correctly depicted in terms of how many rounds there are. Magazine is way too short for 34 rounds. Otherwise, fine. You know, the rates of fire so far, I think, have all been correct.
I was trying to work out why it's called the Peerless SMG in game before realizing
Sterling.
That's just a synonym for Sterling.
Yeah. That's right. Started out as a telephone company. The Sterling Telephone Company. It's like the British version of Acme. Acme also meant the best of.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Oh, that's it.
If
Okay.
you did, like the video, comment below what
Yeah,
games
ran
or
out of
movies you'd
stuff
like
to
see
say
on the
there at
show,
some of those
and
last
course,
ones.
subscribe. As always, a huge shout out to all of our supporters over on Patreon for helping this project and all of these episodes happen. Links on how you can support the Royal Armories will be in the description below, as will links to all of our social pages if you want to follow along and keep up to date with everything that's happening here at EXP. But until next time, thank you again for watching, and we will see you very soon.
Game has my attention. Definitely. We still don't have a whole lot of the story besides nuclear reactor that had real problems, had even worse real problems. But interesting, and always good to see a Jonathan video. It could be some breakaways from GameStop or Spot, like you said, but I've been seeing him appear in a bunch of other channels as well. I think people realize, one, that he likes being part of it, and two, that he's really good at this, and three, that viewers like this stuff. Took him long enough to figure it out. So, yeah, it's Fallout, but in Britain and not made by Bethesda. What more do you need? Okay. Fair points on all of those. I know Oblivion Remake came out. I am not giving Bethesda money. They have not earned it back. Not after the utter disasters of Fallout 76 and Starfield and just their absolute arrogance. No, So yeah, having a Fallout alternative is not a bad idea. I can get behind that plan. All right, Minish Cap. I did figure out where I'm going. I can remember my controls. Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna try to do a reaction each time, and then I think, but do I want to do a reaction each time? Well, yeah. I've been pestered enough about it. We're gonna try to keep up with that, so we're gonna be seeing a lot more of him. I also think I found some shoe-on-head ones, but a lot of them are like the gender stuff like you mentioned, and it's like, do I want to get into the men versus women fights on her channel? I have only 2 bombs, darn it. Yeah, I know where I'm going, but I only have 2 bombs, and that's an issue. And I really don't want to spend money on more bombs because I need money for the boomerang. Nice to know that I can find shells on repeat. That's going to make it ever so slightly less frustrating. Alright, I'm gonna get what I can out of this for rupees at least, and then head to where I think the, where I need to go is. Yeah, we were down here too, and I completely forgot. Already up to 97, huh? Game music's drowning me out. Game has been turned down. Let me know if that's good. You have this deluxe, the most deluxe of all bottles for only 20 rupees. You got an empty bottle. Use it to store all sorts of things. Always bottles. Again, the best and most important thing in the game is an empty bottle. You are correct. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go see if there's anything. Well, I'm gonna finish clearing this. Then I'm gonna go see if there's anything. Well, I need to buy more bombs, if nothing else. I have a whole 1 left. How much does this cost? $300. Where's the shell place? I think I need shells for one of these places. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. I am probably wrong. I don't know what I'm doing with the shells. Besides needing tons of them, apparently. Gee, thanks. Also, hi, Repeat. So we've decided Atom Fall is going on our list of to-dos. Told you I needed bombs. Thank you. We are at least back to where we started. One moment. There's a lot of noise coming from outside. Just making sure. Right. That's why I was in here. I wonder how far this can go, or does it just keep going? Subtle. I don't know if what I'm doing is what I need to be doing, but I'm doing it. No work today, thankfully. It's the weekend! And they're not making me work weekends right now. Hope today finds you well, though. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need this stuff. We just got the bottle. It feels like something we're gonna need. Do not swim in the Doom. Thank you for the lemon rippy. Actually, I'm gonna go... I think that's where I need to go, so I'm gonna go check out this place first. Okay, so I know where to get more. Oh! Okay. I guess that's an option. Quiet you, Rippy. I do feel like they put this stuff in there just to force you to have a reason to use this thing. From a game design perspective, it is very forced. And the mechanism itself is very slow. Alright, now we're gonna be looking to buy more bombs. Gonna have a quick look around here. Like, yeah, there's... It's just from a game design perspective, it is very slow and awkward. Alright, we need to go down and get more bombs. Oh, right, he's not gonna make me. Okay. You generally don't want, unless it's like an actually powerful item, you generally do not want to design your items to be so slow. Certainly not in a game that has a sword that you can do that with. It just means that the player feels that slowdown that much more. Oh, come on! Yes, I have the advantage of turbo. But the point is, even without the turbo, you can do this pretty fast. I'm not using turbo. That's not turbo, that's me. No? Did I not get it there fast enough? I probably didn't get it there fast enough. This was not worth it for a Kinstone piece. Anyways, the point is when you can hit the button pretty fast, and then that is the other item option. It is so slow. I'll see if I can lift it, but I don't think I can. Oh my gosh, I can. And then I needed the mineral water. Darn it! This is not what I was thought I was gonna get. Yeah, he just tells me what I need to know. Ah. So, I said it at the beginning while we were getting ready. I'm gonna say it again. I am actually... LAR has actually opened their waitlist for models, which I honestly wasn't sure was ever gonna happen again. And I'm super happy about. And so, I jumped on the waitlist, unplanned. And so... I want to know, what would you guys want to see? A new model? What additions to this model? What kind of things do you think would add to the stream? I can't promise I'll do it, but I can promise I will certainly listen and consider it. Because it's a wait list, so it's not immediately something that, you know, needs to be set. But it should be set sooner rather than later. So I want to know what you all think. What kind of things do you think I should get Lars to add and or do? Because a whole new model is technically on the table, though I'm super attached to this one, so it's a little bit like, I really don't want to retire this one unless I have to. Oh, why did I shrink? Shut up, both of you. Focus on what new model and or additions you would want to see. Tech goggles. It was. It's a shame that I knew about it. You were correct. That is how you deal with them. Grip ring! Now you can easily climb cliffs that you could not scale before. The blank military uniform one tends to not handle modifications well, just saying. True. A redo of that could be a good idea. Right, I can't do this yet until later. Irony that need to buy the upgrades just Nintendo. Do not imitate moneybags. There are better ways to steal from Spyro. Eh. Welcome to the Adventurer's Spring. Did you throw the golden bomb into the spring or the silver bomb? Neither is obviously the answer, but I can't remember. If there was a specific answer that we are supposed to give. So, okay, say neither. Yeah, I can carry more bombs. Thank you. How did I not get hit? Need hearts, please. Of course. I am the Crenell Hermit. I left the world to pursue a life of quiet reflection. You seem to be but a child, and yet you climb the forbidden mountain alone? You must reward your courage with a little information. Have you not seen strange patterned walls as you climb this mountain? Bombs! Bombs are the answer! That beeping is gonna get annoying real quick. Now we're getting some Link to the Past music. Raindrops are like boulders of water to us, kid. Watch out. One of them hits us, it'll sting something fierce. Goody, goody, goody. I put it in the wrong place, probably. I put it in the wrong place. Pay attention to the puzzle. Have hearts! Hearts! What is this puzzle? I think I know what this puzzle is. I could really use help. Ah! I'm really just gonna have to do this with all the rocks. Someone give me a heart. Someone drop a heart! Thank you! Oh my gosh, thank you. I've played Zelda games before. Here we go again. Didn't know if maybe they'd try to trick us with that. If one of you could please drop something, preferably a heart, but you know, anything will do. A whole 1 rupee. Malari's Mines. Ding along, tongue along, dig along for iron. Ding along, tongue along, dig down, dig around, dig the ground for iron. Diggy holes better. This mine belongs to Malari and us, his 7 apprentices. Did your ting along, tongue along all this long way to get your sword repaired? The boss is down on the lowest level. Ding tongue tongue along. Deep down, dig joy in the ground. Right, these are going to be rooms, not continue. Right. If you head outside from here, you can go see the mine the humans dug. The boss doesn't let anyone go in there without permission. Ding along, tongue along. Oh, what? Who am I? Well, I'm no less than the 3rd best of the Minish Metalsmiths. I'm making swords with the boss. Ding along, tongue along. Huh? What? Who am I? Why, my lad, I'm the 2nd best of the Minish Metalsmiths. I'm making swords with the boss. Does they include actual living space? True! That is very true. Green clothes and an odd hat? Sir, you must be Young Zai. I'm Malari, Master Smith. If you want to reforge the sacred sword and help break a curse, I'll be needing the old sword, which holds the power of the elements first. Show me that broken Bikori blade. With all this adventure, what with the rescuing of princesses and such, be happy to reforge this thing into a brand new sacred blade for you. It'll take me a while to rework your sword. In the meantime, you should track down the missing elements. One of them should be in the mine the humans dug. It's not far from here. Alright, let's get started. It'll be a while, Zai. Let's leave them to it and find that element. I like how it's not like, okay, do these 7 things for me, and then I'll make your sword. No, I'll make your sword. Here, go do something else while I do it. Yes, I talked to the boss. It's gotta be my way down. Now, to the Cave of Flames. Wow, it's hot in here. Come on, let's not stand around wasting time. Find that element so we can get out of here. Thank you for hearts. However, we won't be in here for very long. We're taking a break soon and moving on to Chrono Trigger. Compass. There's gonna be a bad guy here. Every time you see rupees arranged like that, there's always gonna be a like, and those things are bad. We don't like likes. Really? You only let me go okay. That's different. Dungeons like this almost always have unmarked bomb walls, so I'm just trying to make sure. I am not reading that. Don't do that now! I love the sheer terror. Wait, can I? Well, I can. Bet I could do that with normal bombs, too. Okay, I might be getting why they made this so slow now. If you can do stuff like that, it being slow kind of is starting to make a little bit of sense. In order to prevent it being too overpowered. However, bombs are finite ammunition, even if you can get more. It's like, well, there's only so much of it. Please? Oh, you're mean. Of course, I can't get that while I'm diminished. We are gonna have to stop soon for the break to head to Chrono Trigger then. Okay. Yes, falling in the lava is bad. Thank you for that. Ah. Ooh. Uh-oh. The convection from the lava should definitely... Huh. Help keep me aloft. Alright, I think we should probably call this one here and move to Chrono Trigger, since it has gotten the short end of the stick for so much. And I will be here for a while if I decide I'm going to try to complete the whole dungeon tonight. So I will be back shortly. I did not step away. I was checking something while I did. I need to confirm this, but if Twitter is correct, Mume is graduating. Mume is also leaving now with Gura gone. And it has been a month for VTubing. I will go confirm this. I will be back. I return and... Man, this has been a miserable month for VTubing. Ugh. Alright. Lost Gura, lost Mume, Cinder ended up being a total piece of trash. Did anything else happen in the past month that I'm forgetting about? I keep getting copyright struck even on the first couple notes, so give me a sec to switch it over and then I'll do it. Alright, I should also repost my stuff so that it's live. Not ready to cry, but I am very, very tired. Oh, right, this one doesn't like to work right. Share. Takamare's done. Post. So she graduated today. There wasn't even like an extended anything. She's just gone. Unlike Gura, who like has an exit period. So that's Sana, Fauna, Gura, Mume, and Ame. All gone. What is going on right now? Also, I don't appreciate the people that are celebrating this for this past month, thinking, oh, the big ones are gone. No, that's not. I've saved so I can block. Some of them I already blocked. see an announcement for grip. How did I not see that? Yeah, I forgot about this. It's being dumb. I will set up a modified camera view for next time to bounce it up to make it a little easier to so that it still fills the screen. I just don't feel like playing with it right now because I am tired. What's that? That's... It's like it's calling us. A black omen rises. Right, and I'm not supposed to do that yet, I believe. Isla no like boat. Boat no like Isla. The ocean palace? But no! Uh-oh, look at that screen. It looks like something is happening. Forever hasn't been, forever will it be, until Lavos calls. Is Lavos hidden this as well? Alan not understand. Think too much. Head go boom. What's happening to our world? I can move now! Sun Shrine! I can do nothing with this. How do I trigger the time travel again? That's how. So, like I said, I don't think I'm supposed to go fight this guy immediately. I think I'm supposed to go, like... Go say hi. I mean, he was always a pain, but now he's gone. Don't go getting any crazy ideas now. I just thought of him like a brother. Don't you need my brain power? Oh. That fool. No man so young should have to die. Return, have you need my sword? No. The unused blade goes to rust, you know. Chrono's absence seems to adversely affect everyone's mood. May I be of assistance? Be nice if those were labeled. Oh, where's that sprightly young man? I see. How terrible. There's little I can do for you, but let me honor him with a song. I'll call it Memories of Chrono. Well, there goes my copyright for this video because someone is stupid. Were there anything more I could do, I would, but I fear I can be of little aid. We're looking for the Guru of Time. The Guru of Time, you say? I know of him, but what business have you with the Guru of Time? We heard he knows a way to bring Chrono back. Ah yes, to break death's hold over one you hold dear still. You are not the first to wish such a thing, nor will you be the last. Chrono must be happy indeed, knowing such dear friends as you. Wait, I don't need to care about those being labeled. I can now do this. Hey. Hey. Here, take this with you. Egg? I'll eat. Okay, eat. That is the... That is the Chrono Trigger, a time egg, should you wish to try and hatch it. The one who crafted your wings of time can tell you the way. But know that it may not necessarily hatch the results which you desire. The Chrono Trigger represents potential. Results require action. As long as you keep Chrono in your heart and pursue what you seek, the results should follow, but I can make no guarantees. I see it now. It's you, isn't it? Wait, then, does that mean you're Gaspar, the Guru of Time? Ahaha. Ahaha. Yes, I believe that is what they used to call me. But that was long, long ago. Music's a little out of place. That is the Chrono Trigger, a time egg, should you wish to... Yeah, okay. Gonna call us back again? We go! Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Many peoples. Hope the night finds everyone well. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. I don't know what I'm doing here. You can't get me. When did we get the wings? Was it Antiquity? Is Antiquity when we get the wings? Future. Thank you. Is that here? HP and MP restored, but you're still as hungry as before. My memory is never great as is. This is not going to end well. Quiet, you. Balthazar. Death Peak harbors a power capable of restoring a slaying a life. The power to restore death, to reverse death, is not one easily invoked. The need must be great, and the person's existence of the utmost importance. What's more, you'll need a doll identical to that person in every detail. Then, and only then, will the power deign to hatch the egg. A doppeldoll! That would do nicely. The magician Norstein Beckler could whip one up in the wink of an eye if only he were here. You've not heard of him, you say? Well, he loves festivals. Find a fair, and there you two shall almost certainly find him. I was just there! The Cess version only tells you need the doppelganger. Remember that tent you've been avoiding like the plague the entire time? What tent? What was the skull face for an entrance? We did a whole thing in here! We did a whole thing in here! We did this tent! I haven't come back here because we did this tent! Welcome to Norstein Beckler's Tent of Horrors. The spine-tingling show is just about to start. So you want a doppel-doll of Chrono? Normally I wouldn't give out another person's doll, but today I'll make an exception. 40 silver points. Give it all even if you lose the game, but it will cost you. The longer you stay in the game, the lower my price will be. I currently have 6 points and I know how to easily get more. That should put me at about 50 points, I believe. 51. We'll walk over and tap the robot 3 times. Okay, exit. Exit. All right. I hated this the first time. I hate it the second time. Left and right. Laugh and surprise. Left, right, laugh, surprise. Left, right, laugh, surprise. Left, right, laugh, surprise. Left, right, laugh, surprise. He is not doing what I'm pushing. Does this use different button controls than what's labeled on mine? Boy, am I glad I went for all that cash. I don't have very many controllers to actually compare to. No, they're all labeled the same. Ah. X was left, A was right, Y was left, B was surprise. I don't know. I'm also not particularly invested anymore. I'm just tired and frustrated. Oh. Oh, hello. Is Chrono alright? Here we go. He's great. Better than great. Well, I hope he's not causing you too much trouble. Tell him I said to behave himself, alright? Listen, yes? We're just gonna borrow this doll, alright? Go right ahead, dear. Sorry. Dane Doppeldoll. You stay out of trouble now. The knife! Let us twist it more. Oh, thank you for the follow, Asher! Much appreciated! Each of Becker's games gives a different prize. After you win them, the games then give cat food. To return, get you more cats at Chrono's house. Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you for the follow! Hi and welcome. Sorry I missed that. Death Peak harbors a power capable of restoring the slain to life. Power to reverse death is not one easily invoked. Okay. Time has come for you to attempt Death Peak. It is the only chance you have of reviving your friend. I've implanted one final program. Truly, I mean it this time. This construct's memory banks. It will help you guide you up the mountain. Please stand back. Executing program. Executing program. Executing program. The three entities you just saw will aid you on Death Peak. This ends my message. I must ask you for a favor. This construct has reached the end of his final program. Please, let him rest. The switch is on his stomach. I assume we're doing Death Peak in this time zone. Not that I know which one it is. Oh, it's a mountain on this island. Okay. There you go. Walk when the wind dies down and hide behind trees when it picks up strength. Surprising no one, I still have to fight these darn things. Oh wow, that when they say a large amount, they mean a large amount. Obtain magic ring. That's be. Alright, you already said that. Now do I have to come back through here? Why are there oyster thingies on this mountain to begin with? Stop it! The undead at least makes sense, because they're just monster things doing things. Oysters should be in the water. Alright, there's a cave. No, I have not. And unless you prove otherwise, I will insist on thinking you're just messing with me. I'm sorry. What? Okay, there's no getting around that thing. Alright, well, before I do anything else, I guess I gotta haste myself. Probably dead. Lavo Spawn, the youngest and weakest, which failed to break free of the planet's gravity well, only a few hundred years old, they are weak. Alright. Sure. Besides grinding, yes, a hint would be nice. Alright, where's the oysters? I can at least fight them while I wait. Well, it opened with an attack. How am I supposed to know it also is auto-countering? Well, what do you know? No, don't be sorry. I'm just in a mood after everything tonight. Well, what do you know? I'm... This is one of these chests, right? That I gotta... Well, I'm in the future. There's gonna be no better time than now to open it. Gigaton arm. Brave sword. Well then. Alright, fine. If I have to fight the thing again... Good. Though, admittedly, once you were using your help, it wasn't actually that bad. Hadean sickle. Why not? Each lava spawn is unique, can only be fought once. Don't you dare. Man, haste really just... The difference in DPS when you start using haste properly. Good grief. I was such an idiot to think it was only for the next turn. The footing here is icy and slick. Be careful. Fall and you have to start over. Didn't we just do this? Yaksha Blade. Push the shell, climb the shell. It's really ironic that Isla is becoming our healer early in each fight. Sorry that I always get quiet in these fights in this game, but it's like, I've really got to try to focus on what's going on, because these fights can get away from you so easily. I mean, it's kind of obvious. If I can get the right position for it. No, I'm not going up that way? Okay. Oh, I see. I couldn't see the steps before. This is it, the summit of Death Peak. You who fear the night and stand against the darkness, please give us your strength. Chrono! The pendant's reacting. It's shattered! But we've come so far! No cry, Isla miss Chrono too. Sad Chrono no come back. Please answer me. Don't leave me. Chrono! Time freeze. I never dreamt it possible. Chrono! We put the doll in his place. Right, duh. I thought it was gonna inhabit it. Now... Just Isla move? All for naught. We changed nothing. We just need to exchange the Doppel doll for Chrono. Chrono? It's Chrono! Chrono, you're alive! Hurry, take Chrono! Save the tearful reunions for later. If we've done all we must, let us be on our way. Chrono! Oh, Chrono, you're back! Chrono back! Chrono okay? Okay, here comes the sad music that gets me copyright struck. We were all waiting for you to come back. You can't. Don't ever leave us like that again. A lot of things happened, Chrono, while you were away. First and after that but... Chrono, are you even listening? There's so much I still have to tell you. Are you gonna take Chrono? We just immediately drop Magnus down for Chrono again. Nope, sorry. You're not We're gonna take not Chrono and put Chrono back in. So, all went well. No, don't thank me. I merely placed a piece upon the board. It was not my hand that moved it. If you would thank someone, thank the ones who cared enough to see their friend return to them. By the way, the Rings of Time have come looking for you. They seem to have a heart and mind of their own. You wish to fight Lavos, correct? Many paths lie before you. You might choose to leap into that bucket, or fly the wings of time to the day of Lavos. Oh, there's the Black Omen, which now straddles time, seeking to summon Lavos yet again. Such folly, lusting so greedily after power that the power wields you. It is up to you to decide when and where you will face Lavos. However, do not think that you stand alone. I've had glimpses, albeit vague, of events, people, and places that will empower you. A forest brought back to life by the sheer determination of a woman in the Middle Ages. The fortress of one of Magus's 3 former generals in the Middle Ages. A task to be done in the future, in the birthplace of machines. A prehistoric stone that will shine with the light of all ages of the world. The restless spirit of a proud knight slain by Magus in the Middle Ages, and lingering even in the present. An object of legend in the Middle Ages. It sounds like we're going to the Middle Ages first. It sparkles like a rainbow. We're going to prehistoric times to put the rock down, then we're going to the Middle Ages. Speak to your companions. Some may know you well, some may well know the figures behind the events which I have seen. Borrow the might of all these lives throughout the ages. Let their strength become your own. for only then can you hope to defeat the enemy you face. Such is the power required should you wish to change the future. I will remain here and bear witness to the world's fates. Right. We go to prehistoric times to put the rock in the Sun Temple place so it can charge. Then we go to the Middle Ages to pick it up and do everything else. Except for the future thing. See, I've been paying attention. I remember what we do with the rock. Your death was OG thanks. Ozzy did maintain a fortress in the style of my own keep, I wonder. Ah, look at you, ladies weeping over you left and right. The spirit of a proud knight, could it be? When it appears to be in a more cheerful state than when Chrono is here. A birthplace of machines. Do I have a hometown too? Well done. Please. All right, where's the Sun Mountain Rock thingy? Not back here yet, are you? Aha! That was a complete just wander around guess, so yay. Oh wait, I don't have the rock, do I? Crap. I thought I had the sunstone for some reason. I could have sworn that I had picked up the dead sunstone at some point. Alright, I guess we're going to the medieval ages because I don't know where the rock is. If it isn't at the beginning, it might be better to search the... Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, it probably is best to just get... Okay. Wow, when I yawned, briefly, I could see through my squinted eyes, so things didn't look right. Just out of the off stage, the face tracking on the phone, and oh my gosh, it was like, okay. Those analog horror type things. Guess we might as well do the factory first. I don't know how I just happened to wander on these things. Never mind, I guess it's not gonna happen there. Need Robo's help to get up. Yeah, that makes sense. At that point, then, it might be worth it to grab him, do some. Thinking. Thinking of finishing my caffeine. Ooh. That's probably the best plan. I appreciate this two-frame run cycle. Who enters my sanctum unbidden? My, welcome home, R66Y. Or should I say Prometheus? And behind you, fleshlings. I have not seen creatures of flesh for many a day. Let me welcome them. Come within, ye. Let's see just what capabilities they possess. Steal from him and then just immediately punch him in the face. Oh, you can also... Okay. So all three of them can heal right now. Cool. I probably should have hasted. That's my mistake. Right, the haste doesn't last though. Come on. Laser him to death, please. Okay. Still not. Alright, we will combine with tail spinning. Wow, the tailspin just does crazy damage. Have a good night, Blue Kitty. Well, we're almost done anyways, but have a good night. Rest well. Thank you for hanging out while you did. Oh my gosh. Oh, we not done yet. Okay. If the party has some form of healing technique, give him Mouse Aura, Cure 2, and Arise, make her the best healer. Just to save some MP, we're just gonna punch this guy for a couple... Okay. Are we not done? This has at least been good for leveling. Not bad for humans. I'll be looking forward to greeting you. That is probably worth checking out. Well, this will also probably be about it for us. "300 years ago, the Lavos disaster brought drastic and devastating change to this planet. At its current rate of decline, humanity is doomed. The disease you call despair already consumes you from within." Can't I attack this guy or, you know, do the exclamation mark thing? Well, we are 4 minutes to our normal end time, so I'm just gonna call it here. Nope, I've... You know, well, no, I am already going to be copyright struck, if I'm not already copyright struck, so, Thank you all for hanging out. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Triple stream weekend. I will continue to look out for more chances to do extra streams on top of these regular ones. Hope you've enjoyed the champion stream, in spite of the depressing news that's happened through it. And I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. I will see you on Friday. Suggestion box is still open. It'll be open for a bit in terms of, do we want a new model? What do we want to see in a new model? Do we want to modify this one? What do we want to do? And in the meantime, I will thank y'all and see you next time. Be safe and have a good week.